Hello and welcome to another video on Sownata. In today's video we're going to talk about Netflix, how to download and visualize your Netflix data in Sownata. Now the chart on the right here is showing the number of things I've watched on Netflix in the last 8 years. So you can see that in the first few years my viewing kind of went up a bit, peaking in 2017 and then dropping a little bit in the last couple of years, but we're still looking at 600 to 700 things a year, so I'm getting pretty good value for my money on Netflix. Now, like most Sownata charts, I can navigate around the data to try and understand it a little bit more. So rather than just look at the total number of things watched, I want to see how that breaks down by profile, because I have a few different profiles on my account. So I'm going to tap on the 3 dots just here, and then I'm going to tap on profile. So the bars are exactly the same, but now I see colours for each profile. So I have dad, mum, kids and grandma. So you can see that in the last few years the kids are watching most of the Netflix, but mum and dad and even grandma are getting in on the action a little bit too. Now, as well as the number of watch events and looking by profile, we can navigate around to look at other attributes of the data. So let's say I want to see which shows I watch the most. So if I switch the data to last year, and instead of profile, if I switch to show, and then if I pinch and zoom to spread out the months, I can see which shows were watched last year. Now the legend in Sownata, when you're grouping by some attribute, will show the top 10 values and then group everything else into other. So the show that was watched the most last year was Star Trek, followed by Death in Paradise, etc, etc. So this is quite an interesting chart. It kind of shows that I watch more in the colder months, and it also kind of hints that I binge watch a little bit. So I went through a phase of watching a lot of QI or Money Heist, or whichever show I'm into, I kind of watch quite a lot. I can change from last year to this year to see how things compare. This year is a little bit different. I don't think anyone would disagree that 2020 has been an unusual year. So there's less of a dip in numbers in the summer months. But again, there's a trend of binge watching. The kids were really into She-Ra at one point. They watched the whole lot in just under a month and a half. So that's my Netflix data. Hopefully looking at that will inspire you to see what your Netflix data is looking like. Do you watch too much or not enough? Are you thinking of getting rid of it? Do you think you need to change the package that you have? It's really easy to download your Netflix data into Sownata. So let me show you how that works. So here I am on my phone. I've gone to netflix.com and I have logged in. So I want to click on the menu bar just here, and I want to go to account. Now on the account page, I want to scroll down to the section that lists the profiles, and I can see my 4 profiles here. So you're going to have to repeat these steps for each profile, but it really does just take a few seconds for each one. So let's say I want to do dad first. If you just expand this, scroll down to viewing activity and then tap on view. Now this is what Netflix gives you itself. It gives you a list of all the things that you've watched and the date that you've watched them. Now we really don't want to enter these one at a time. And thankfully, recently Netflix have added a feature that allows you to download everything at once. So if you scroll right down to the bottom of this page, there is a link now for download all. So if I just tap on that, it will prepare the file. That really just takes a few seconds, and then tap on download. So I can see in the top right here that it's been downloaded. So if I tap just here and then I click on the magnifying glass to view. Now if you only have one profile in Netflix, then you can just tap on this file and it will automatically import. If you have multiple profiles, we need to rename this file to include the profile name so that Sownata can understand that this data belongs to that profile. Renaming is super easy in the Files app on your phone. You just long press on the icon, go to rename, and then at the end of the file, I'm just going to append the profile name. Super easy. And now when I tap on the file to open, it will automatically open in Sownata and it will import. So I can see here that Dad has seen 1,645 events. If I just switch to view events, there you go, you can see the individual items in there. So you need to repeat those steps for each profile, and then when you're done, you'll be able to go to the charts that I was showing you before, this is just the Dad's data, but if I add the other profiles as well, you will see those. Maybe we should do one quickly just to make it super clear. So if I just come back into Netflix, let's clear that up. So let's switch to another profile. So if I now do Mum, viewing activity, scroll down to the bottom again, tap on download all. It takes a few seconds. Download. Once it's downloaded, tap just here, magnifying glass to view in files. Again, I want to rename this, so long press, rename. Let's just stick Mum at the end of that. And again, tap on that. Imports into Sownata. And if I just switch to none and then back to profile, I can see the new data. So it really does take just a few seconds to import your data from Netflix. I hope you like what you've seen. I hope you want to give this a go for yourself. Please do get in touch. Let me know how it goes, especially if you have any problems. I've tried my best to make this always work, but feedback is very, very welcome. That's it for me today. Have a great day.